Hey, Isabella, did you see Tiger Woods posted on X or whatever that he's working with doctors and his Achilles is all fixed and he's going to play in the Masters?
Are we happy? We're happy about that, right? Because it's healed?
2 hours later, he quote tweeted it and said, like, April Fools.
Oh. I feel like that's bad karma for him.
I hate this holiday. Hello and welcome to Casuals, the sports podcast that is for people who want to know most of it, but don't want to have to know all of it all the time. I'm Katie Nolan. I'm your host. My guest today, very funny comedian, Gianmarco Soresi. He will join us in just a little bit. If you'd like to email us, casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com. Our voicemail 646-801-0043. On IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. As always, we got to start this podcast off with a little bit of a yap. A quick one today. I've said that before, and I also feel like I'm damning myself anytime I say that, because it's like, well, now it's going to go on forever. But today we're talking about women's figure skating in the yap. And don't tune out. Maybe it's not your sport. Maybe it's not a sport you pay a lot of attention to. Maybe like me, you're really only paying attention to figure skating around the Olympics. But this past weekend in Boston was the World Championship of figure skating. And the winner of that was a U.S. woman named Alyssa Liu. That is the first female, the first U.S. woman to win the World Championships in almost 2 decades. Last time it happened was Kimmy Meisner. I don't know if you remember that name. We are old. Why this is so interesting, Alyssa Liu. She was the youngest ever U.S. champion at the age of 13. In 2019. She finished 6th in the 2022 Beijing Olympics. She got bronze at the Worlds in 2022. And then at the age of 16, she retired. She basically said, I've achieved all of my goals and more. I've done everything I wanted to do in skating. And so I'm going to focus on my friends and my family. I'm going to focus on school. I'm going to study. I'm just going to walk away from skating. I think I've achieved all that I set out to achieve, and now I'm going to go. People were shocked because she was so good. She had such a promising career, but also very supportive that she went out on her own terms. In 2023, she went on a ski trip with her friends. And while she was skiing, she said that she experienced a rush that was unlike anything she had felt other than competing at figure skating. And she said that it was almost like an exciting reminder of what skating used to feel like. And she started to miss that. So she went back on her own terms. And she was like, maybe I'll just like skate again. And she did a bunch, got back with some old coaches, and then came out and won Worlds this year. What's amazing about it and why I loved it so much is because not just, that she came back on her own. Watching her perform, again, I don't know if you're a figure skating person. I never figure skated. My best friend when I was little, Jill Beto, she figure skated. She was very good, but it was not for me. I played hockey for a little, and then when we couldn't afford equipment for 2 kids and Kevin's didn't fit me anymore, I stopped and I danced and, rhythmic gymnastics. But I never figure skated. So when I watch figure skating and even gymnastics at the Olympics, an artistic sport, it's always, the scoring is very confusing. And I don't really know what I'm looking for, but I'm watching the performance as if it's a performance, right? This performance from ironically enough, a 19-year-old who had retired and came back from retirement, which sounds crazy. But watching her perform was like so engrossing. I was so glued to the screen. There's something about sometimes in figure skating where you're like, wow, this is very technical and I can tell that it's impressive technically, but emotionally I'm not really connected to what's happening. And maybe it's because Alyssa skated. Her short program was to a song by Leve, an artist who I was calling Laufey for a very long time. But I'm here to let everybody know the correct pronunciation is Leve. It's a beautiful song. It's called The Promise. maybe it's because that's like a modern song that I know. Her long program was also to Donna Summer, another fantastic performance. But it just felt like this was a girl who knew she was great at something, decided she was done with it, came back to it kind of more naturally, and now was doing it for her. She was doing it on her own terms. The way that she was expressive during her performance, the way that she connected with the music, it truly felt like, you know, they always say like the job you're most likely to get, the best job interview you're going to have is one for a job that you don't really need or you don't really want, because you just kind of go in there as yourself and you're like, I'll try, but I'm probably not going to get it. And then you end up whatever. I feel like this is that. I think a lot of times with young female athletes, the sport itself is responsible for so much. And I'm not saying I know this about her. I don't know anything about her experience in figure skating. But a lot of times in gymnastics and other sports that have young female athletes, there's just this pressure, sometimes abuse, sometimes like an indoctrination into this sport, and there really is you wonder when the young girl gets to develop into the person that she wants to be. And this just stuck out to me because it felt like Alyssa got to walk away and then come back when she wanted to. It felt like she got to spend time with her friends and family and study and grow into a person who then, as a new person, was like, and I do still want to figure skate. And then she came back and she crushed it. She absolutely crushed it. It was beautiful. I really think you should go look it up. There's her short program and her long program, both amazing. But so shout out to Alyssa Liu for coming back and doing it on your own terms at the ripe old age of 19. It's exciting to see. Hopefully we'll see her at the Olympics, which is next year in Italy. That would be exciting. And I just, you don't usually hear about these athletes until you're at the time of year when it's the Olympics. So this is us letting you know in advance. You'll have somebody to root for. Alyssa Liu, congratulations on being the first woman to win, a U.S. woman to win the World Championships in almost 2 decades. We love you. What a beautiful performance. And leve, just for everyone, leve, not Laufey, but leve. Okay, so that's your yap. That was relatively quick, right, about figure skating. Very quick housekeeping. I want to thank Thad, our fan Thad, who sent us the Blue Hose hat. I guess we mentioned the Blue Hose for a second during our March Madness bracket, and he sent a whole hat. While we're talking hats, I have secured, I believe, a Tetas hat. I believe I was offered a $40 deal from Ian Carmel, friend of the podcast, and I said $40, absolutely sold. And so now we're just figuring out how to get it to me. But I believe if all things go well, we will have a Tetas hat, here in the studio with us. Okay, that being said, my guest today, Gianmarco Soresi, hilarious. You've probably seen him somewhere on the internet. His clips are everywhere. He's an incredibly funny comedian. He he studied drama at the University of Miami. We get into all the rest of it. I kept him here for way too long, but here is welcome to the podcast, Gianmarco Soresi. Gianmarco Soresi, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're a very casual sports fan.
Very casual.
If at all.
Yeah, my dad always acts like I'm watching. He's like, "Did you see the game?" And I'm like, "I haven't for 20 years. Why do you keep asking?" But no, I did stuff, and I turn it on, and I dream about going to Madison Square Garden front row. I like basketball because I can keep track of the characters.
Of course.
It becomes more theater to me.
Yeah, easier when you can see their faces than, say, hockey, where they've got a helmet on. And
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's okay. And I argue that you don't really have to understand to like it a little bit.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. As long as I can establish characters.
Yes.
That's all I need to enjoy the game.
Yeah. You went to the U. You went to University of Miami?
University of Miami. I went to one football game freshman year. We lost 36-0, and that was the last game I went to.
I mean, what a brutal game to see.
Yeah, I don't think I was going during like a real good time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you tried to give the culture the chance to get its like hooks in you. Freshman year, you go to a game, but it just didn't. They didn't do it.
It just didn't do it.
No.
It was. We were lost by the first quarter.
Yeah, that's tough. Did you tailgate?
No, I saw them and I said, that looks nice. Are there any salad options here at the tailgate?
Do we have a white or a red I could partake in?
I want to do it.
I know.
I want to.
Yeah.
In theory, I do.
Right.
Except for baseball. Baseball is the one that I sound like the typical, like, when you're swinging a stick at a ball. Baseball's tough for me. I've been
Really?
to several baseball games. I can't. I will never go to a baseball game. I don't care if it's the last game in the World Series. I will never go to a baseball game ever again.
You're breaking my heart right now.
I will never do it.
Why? Just boring.
It's just so slow. I'm going crazy.
That's life. That's beauty. You can run your lines while you wait. There's like stuff there's plenty of space.
It's that I went to a baseball game with no friend. Like I went with
that's a bad
the
idea.
owner of a comedy club said,
Stupid.
"Don't bring you over here."
No, yeah.
And so it was torturous.
Yeah, that would be torturous. That was like, I went to see, kind of similar, kind of different. I went to see Spring Awakening in college with my dance history professor. And we sat next to, and I was like, this is really hard to watch with a professor.
Did you say
of the
dance history? Is that what you
masturbating.
just said?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like that was the whole class?
Yeah.
The
I was a
history of
dance minor, and it was a dance history class.
Wow.
I know.
That sounds amazing.
Isn't
to
that
me.
something? Yeah, but to sit next to your teacher while someone's like masturbating on stage was a tough hang.
I saw it with my mom.
Yeah, see? That's,
know?
yeah. So she got it.
Yeah.
She understood. All right, what we do here is we go through sports news. I know you might be like, that's terrifying because I don't care or know any of it, but we are a podcast for casual fans. So if I'm doing my job right, we'll give you enough information for you to be able to entertain and understand.
I see the video and it's LeBron talking to the guy and I go, whoa, something's going on.
Yeah, perfect.
And LeBron and his son and he's playing and they're saying the son's not as good, I guess.
Yeah,
and,
we're getting to we
I'm
have
excited.
that actual story
so
today.
I see these pieces and I
good.
go, cool.
We're going to hopefully fill in some of the blanks for you
Yeah.
and then I think an outsider's perspective on sports is usually funnier anyway.
Sure.
And then you being so funny, I have no worries about this.
Great.
This could all go sideways, but I think it's going to be fine. All right, we'll start with March Madness. You're aware of March Madness.
I am.
The college basketball tournament. In the men's tournament, we are down from 64 teams. We now just have 4 left, the final 4. It's Auburn, Florida, Duke, and Houston, who all entered the tournament as number 1 seeds. So it's the people that the committee decided were the best, made it to the end. Surprisingly, this is only the second time in history that all the number 1 seeds made it to the final 4. Usually there's upsets.
Sure.
Not many of those this year. But still, like, if your final 4 on your bracket is all number 1 seeds, like if anybody still has a bracket that's alive and well, that's a very boring person because that means you just picked the guy who was going to win the whole way through. Which
I
is
did these in
boring.
high school and
That's-
I would
was
have
gonna say,
been
when's the
killing
last
it right
time-
now.
When's the last time you filled out a bracket?
It had to have been high school and it was just guessing.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
I think
guessing.
I would say 80% of people are just guessing. I don't think
Yeah.
most people, because college basketball, we don't pay attention to it really until this
Are you doing it? Are
happens.
you putting money in?
No, I think I put like $20 on a bracket. It busted right away, which is
Sure.
what you say. It's not inappropriate. It's what you say when your bracket's done. So
Right.
I picked like St. John's to win, and then
I understood. I didn't think it
I
was
know.
the
I
other
just
meaning
as I
of
said,
busted.
to your face. It
As
just
the
didn't
teams
feel
win.
right. Yeah, it's very graphic. Does any aspect of March Madness appeal to you? The fact that it's like once a year, the fact that it's like an event.
I love a bracket. Who doesn't love a bracket?
Yeah.
You see the things move and you get excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the excitement. I like the excitement of competing with your peers and guessing and feeling like, ooh, I won or I lost.
What about like an upset? As an outsider sports fan, do you love an upset or do you like when the best teams
No, I'm
are
always
all at
looking for
end?
the upset.
Yeah.
If I'm going to, like, if I'm watching a Super Bowl with no context and it's like, well, this is the team who should win, I'm like, I hope they lose.
Good.
I hope it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I hope it's crazy. So
Yeah.
I love an upset.
Okay, good. Because I never know if that's like a sports thing or if outside of sports, people are like, no, I want to see the best compete against the best.
I think there's very few times, like, I feel like I was young enough for the Michael Jordan like run, like I was a kid at that age, and like
Yeah.
that's one of the few times where you're like, just keep winning. You just want him to keep winning.
Right, because you're like, I feel like I'm witnessing something historic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if it's a big team, again, individual characters succeed. Big franchises, let them go.
Yeah. The women's tournament this year has actually been much more interesting and exciting. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an ally.
I would never think that.
They are also down to the Final Four. It's South Carolina, UCLA, Texas, and UConn. That's 3 number 1 seeds and a number 2 seed, but the 2 seed is UConn, and this is their 24th appearance in the Final Four. So the women's game has a little bit less parity. These are all kind of schools we thought were going to make it to the end. But some exciting moments from this year's tournament. Maryland did not beat South Carolina, Don Staley's team that won last year in the Sweet 16, but they almost did. They made it out by the skin of their teeth. UConn's Paige Beckers put up 40 points. Does that mean anything to you? That's a lot of points.
40 points is a lot of points.
Yeah.
I know that. From when I played basketball in middle school, I was not
weren't
getting
doing 40,
close.
not dropping
40
a 40
shots.
piece. Yeah, well, that's good.
0 points.
Shot volume, it's important. Percentage probably pretty low.
I always had good shot volume for sure. Second I got the ball, I'm tossing that thing away.
Yeah. Turns out even non-shooters shoot. 40 points when they won over Oklahoma. It's not only a new career high for her, but a UConn tournament record as well, which is crazy because they've been in the tournament and dominant through the tournament for decades. And then the TCU Horned Frogs, they were eliminated by Texas last night, but Haley Van Lith sank a 3 in their Sweet 16 game against Notre Dame. That gave us probably the best celebration video of the tournament so far. We're going to show it to you. This is her father celebrating, and the person that he celebrates with at the end is her boyfriend.
Okay.
So this is in the crowd after she hits a 3.
I love it. I love a good celebration. I love a good dance. That's where I connect to sports. I go, oh, you get these like acute senses of community and just celebration. And between a father-in-law. Are they married yet? Or
no,
boyfriend?
I think they're just boyfriend girlfriend.
Is there a name for that? There needs to be a name for
there
that.
There should be like a Somebody should come up with a name for that.
Yeah.
I thought something would come to me more
there's
quickly.
There's a related dad.
Yeah.
I almost went daddy.
Father and a half.
Father
half
you never
father.
had. Half father, half father.
Could be.
Stepdad might take offense to that.
Yeah, maybe. But they're a full dad. They're the dad that stepped up.
Father in theory.
Okay. Theoretical daddy.
Theoretical daddy.
I think works.
Yeah.
I love a dad-boyfriend relationship.
Yeah.
I like the confidence of a dad to like. By the way, I don't know if you saw, he was wearing a shirt adorned with his daughter's like name, and it was like he was wearing a shirt that was like for his daughter, and then he like ran down the stairs and smacked him in the. I love a dad that's confident enough to be like, "Come over here and celebrate this with me."
Sure. I think what's so I saw. I won't name any names here, but there was someone who won an award once. And you saw their partner like in the audience as they got the award, and they didn't react at all. But that's the difference between like sports and like awards. It's like sports, it happened right then.
Yeah.
Awards, it's like a year ago you did a thing, and now we're doing the thing. So that's what I love.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy those moments.
So you didn't like when the spouse did nothing?
No, I it was not good.
No.
And I just clocked in my head because I think my girlfriend will be winning some things in her life.
Yeah.
And I just said like, listen, buddy, those cameras could be on any second, so that you lock in. You lock in and you dance.
Yeah.
You clap.
Yes.
Because this guy did not look
excited.
Oh, he
at
did
all.
not look good. It looked like, divorce tonight.
Oh, man. And this was how long ago?
It was like a year ago. They're still together as far as I know.
Well, good for them. Brady, what's up? You keep popping back in.
I want to add a wrinkle to the Haley Van Lith story.
Oh, what do we got?
So not only is the aggressive chest bump coming down from her dad to her boyfriend is Jalen Suggs.
Oh, yes.
Who is the point guard for the Orlando Magic. He is
a
6'5". He is.
I should have clocked something. He was a giant.
Yeah.
Giant man. And has been wearing her jersey from TCU around every game, and they are absolutely adorable. He has been front and center in cheering squad. And
cute.
I want to hang with the Van Liths now.
Yeah.
Have there been a lot? I feel like there haven't been like a lot of superstar athlete couples.
There's a couple. Do you know who Sue Bird is? She's like one of the most accomplished female WNBA players.
I think so.
Her and Megan Rapinoe, who is the soccer star, who has the short pink hair. Probably last you saw her, if you saw her at all. They date.
I don't like it between sports, different sports.
You don't like that?
I don't approve of that.
Not okay with that.
No.
Why is that?
You different rules, different world, different system.
Yeah.
You should keep to your sport. I'm sorry to be a little behind the times.
Not to be old-fashioned. Stick to your own, I believe, is the pull quote from Gianmarco here.
Yeah.
He likes you to date within your own. That's pretty wild. Mm-hmm. Pretty wild thing to say.
Yep.
All right, so that was basketball.
I love
painless.
it.
Pretty painless.
Yeah.
The other big thing everybody's talking about right now, it was opening day of the Major League Baseball. I know you're not a fan of the Major League Baseball season on Thursday, so only like 158 games left to go till the season's over. MLB.TV, that's the streaming service for Major League Baseball. It's like $150 to sign up for.
They pay you that, I assume.
They suffered major outages on the game's most visible day. Fans across the country logged on to the $150 streaming service they signed up for on very famous baseball day and were unable to watch their team's game. As a make good, MLB is offering those affected by the outage a promo code for $10 off any purchase of $25 or more at MLBshop.com.
How dare they present that as a gift? I don't even know this industry, and I know that's a scam if I ever heard one. That's, oh yeah, oh, the thing failed? Well, now I want their merch for sure. Oh,
Right.
$10 off? They were already upcharging them $25. They're just making slightly less profit. That's you guys got to abandon baseball.
Yeah, I think everybody should stop watching baseball because of that.
Stop watching it.
It's pretty screwed up. Also, having to make it a purchase of $25 or more is like, can I just get $10 off even if I buy something $10?
Yeah,
God
I think so.
forbid. I gave you $150 and you gave me literally, I couldn't watch baseball. You gave me literally nothing.
I'm sure everything they're selling is $50 though. I'm sure it's like, oh, here's a sticker for $100.
I mean, a lot of it is.
Cal Ripken walked by this sticker once.
And since you might not know this, a lot of the merch is made by a company called Fanatics, which is, I guess, not known for quality merchandise. They recently put out an ad for opening day on social media that features two fans in Twins jerseys at a ballpark. And it says opening day 2025. It's got the little Twins logo on the bottom. So you assume this is being served to Twins fans, Minnesota Twins fans. But if you look a little bit closer on this Fanatics ad, the hats that they're wearing are Cleveland Guardian hats. And if you look even closer, the field that there's the ballpark they're in is famously Camden Yards, which is where the Orioles play. And so this perfectly sums up the quality of Fanatics merch to most sports fans.
I mean, if it was $10 off, I think I'd get something.
I mean,
As long as I had the coupon. Yeah, I mean, listen, these promos are slapped together by someone.
or not someone, or just AI, probably.
AI got something wrong.
I feel like you're the only person that ad wouldn't have triggered a. You could be
I would
like,
have seen
this
that
looks
ad.
great.
Looks like a regular day at the baseball stadium to me. I love that Twins logo with the big C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. We'll get you some Fanatics merch. They famously, a couple weeks ago, put out a bunch of hats that clearly nobody... Oh, maybe that wasn't Fanatics. It was on MLB Shop, though, where nobody thought through. They took the logo. So like a lot of teams have, like, let's say the Texas Rangers. They have a big T is their logo.
I'm sorry. How dumb do you think I am? That you over-calibrated how bad I know sports. You explained to me how the logo of the team works.
Is it? Well, I'm just saying they took the
You're
T.
like, so the
here, it's
teams,
a
they have like an
picture.
animal, but it's not the animals playing. That's like, well, there's a mascot. Okay.
They
Yeah,
took
it's
the
a T.
and they
Oh,
put it
no.
over the name of the city. So instead of it being like
That's insane.
some of them have a picture, so that works better in this format. But a lot of them just have a letter, and what it does is it forms a new word,
Tetas.
and that is a
Titties.
Spanish word for boobs.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought I was reading an English word for boobs.
This is angels, but what does it look like to you?
My God. Anals.
It's anals.
Anals. Mm-hmm. I'd get that shirt.
It's not bad. The Ashos.
How did they do this?
It had to be AI. There's
AI.
no way.
It's gotta be
But they
AI.
really did make the hats. They took a bunch of them down. Like Tetas was, I think they took anals down. They took,
I mean, that looks hideous.
it's ugly.
I have this idea. I don't think it's sustainable business-wise. I want to make sports jerseys, but it's for whatever musical you did in high school. So it'd be like Seymour on the back.
Yeah.
And like the logo would be like the plants or whatever.
Sure.
So it's like
That's
'cause
Little
I
Shop
don't-
of Horrors.
Little Shop
Right,
of Horrors.
yeah, yeah.
Because I can't wear a jersey without feel like I'm faking it.
Right.
Like I'm
You don't wanna
really
feel like a poser.
Yeah, yeah. But if I had one that was like Seymour or Phantom, and there's like a mask on the front,
Yeah,
like
very cool.
so it's an idea I have.
Okay, I think you should get to work on this.
I know.
Theater jerseys. I mean, theater
Theater
fans are very
jerseys.
passionate. This is a good, ready audience.
And sometimes you like a jersey.
Yeah.
Jerseys can be great to wear.
Especially like one of the button-up baseball jerseys they could wear open over like a shirt, and it just has like Phantom or whatever
Now,
on
do you know the baseball musical?
Damn Yankees?
Damn Yankees.
Yeah.
That'd be a perfect
That's the
one.
one. That's where you start, and then you expand.
And a musical, it's when they sing sometimes
Okay.
instead of speaking.
Okay.
It's too complicated. For
Complicated,
this.
yeah. But I'll look into it.
Sure.
Another thing everybody was talking about this week that I'm sure has crossed your radar. The Yankees New York baseball team. They scored a team record 9 home runs in Saturday's victory over Milwaukee. That's a lot. That seems like a lot to you.
Yeah.
9 in one game. Of the
That's a record. That's the record?
yes.
Okay.
4 of them were hit by players using these new bats called torpedo bats that shift wood as basically as I can explain it. It takes wood from the end of the bat and it moves it a little closer to the label to basically try to meaty up the part of the bat that's going to hit the ball. They call it barreling the ball when you hit a ball really well.
I call it cheating. What is this?
So it's apparently on the up and up. Apparently it's legal to have changed the bat in this way, but everybody was sort of like, what the hell is this?
But how's it fair for stats? If Babe Ruth had to make his own bat out of a tree he found that morning, and they got scientists, we move this slightly there. It's like, it's great, but you can't then be like, well, I beat this other person.
Yeah.
Your tools are better.
This story, not necessarily new, but I thought I'd like to hear your opinion on it. The Athletics, a team that used to be in Oakland, they were the Oakland A's. Or the Oakland Athletics, you may have heard of.
Okay, I've heard of it, yeah.
They are just the Athletics now because they will be playing this season and possibly the next 2 or 3 in a minor league ballpark in Sacramento after their team ownership let the lease on the Oakland Coliseum expire in 2024, which is where they used to play. And the new stadium that they're trying to get built in Las Vegas, they're trying to move the team, won't be ready until at least 2028.
So why don't they keep the Oakland for now?
Because they let the lease expire. So they got kicked out.
But they can still call themselves Oakland, right?
They could.
What's a home game for them?
They're
just
in
people
Sacramento.
who are physically fit? I mean, I guess that could be something like, hey, I'm athletic. I support them. The Athletics versus the Fatsos. I don't know if there's another team that's missing their stadium. But that makes no sense. Just call it Oakland. That's part of the whole fun. I mean, when I grew up in D.C. area, and so we were a big fan of... what are they now?
The Nationals?
No, the football team.
Oh, the Commanders, the Washington Commanders.
I had to throw away a lot of T-shirts.
Yeah, well, they were racist T-shirts.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't have had them in the first place.
They were on fire when I threw them out.
Yeah, smart. Good. You burned them. For your YouTube channel, probably. That content does very well. But isn't it crazy that these owners are basically kidnapping a team without a new... Like, we've seen... Across sports, owners will sometimes take a team and move it to a new city. We've seen it maybe once in hockey. It's just crazy to me that they're allowed to take it away for like 3, with nowhere else for it to go. Even with like apartments, I like to, when my lease is up, I've got a new place lined up. So I go straight to a new place.
Sure.
They're just going to like a in-between minor league stadium.
If anything, the city of Sacramento should be offended as all
very
get out.
Like, what do you want
you're
to
going to use our stadium, but you can't be the Sacramento Athletics?
Oh, and you want us to go to the games and buy tickets, but then you're going to leave soon? Why would I get attached to you?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
I'd be furious.
Baseball media member Ben Ross posted a photo of the press conference setup at the team's temporary home. And it looks like a walk-in standalone shed. I figured we'd look at it, but since it's taking too long, cut this out. Oh no, here it is. Ooh. This is the media setup.
Oh, too funny.
For press conferences. Look at that. It's very thin and long, and we don't have to watch the video, but
I've performed in Sacramento, and this is honestly one of the biggest banquet halls I've ever seen in that city. So really, they're living large for Sacramento standards. We can't judge it by our city.
It's so true. Okay, and then more baseball, but almost done, I promise. Stand-up comedian and friend of the show. Do you know Stavros?
Of course.
Yeah, he threw out a first pitch at an Orioles game.
My biggest fear in my entire life is that I will be asked to do that one day.
Really?
And it'll be one of those that's so bad. It's not a funny bad. Mm-hmm. It's like oh my God.
Really? You think it'd be like stage
God.
and intervention bad?
It's kind of like, when they see like a rich person and they have to like chop a cucumber and they do it like with 2 hands and you go,
like Kylie Jenner.
You're not human.
Was it a Jenner that we saw chopping vegetables and when everybody was like,
Yeah, and that's what it's going to be like for baseball. It's going to be like, he's never held anything in his hands other than a microphone.
Why did he hold it like that?
Yeah.
Why
somehow.
did his body move that way?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm now looking forward to it.
I should be able to go out and do the first time step. Something else.
Can't I do the opening ball change. Yeah, I get
Hey.
it. I get it.
Look at that dance minor coming in.
I can't help it. It's all there. A lot of stand-up comedians I've found have thrown out first pitches. So we're going to take a look at a couple first pitches of stand-up comedians.
Oh, great.
And I figured you could either critique them or say whatever you want about them. The first one we have
Can
here.
I critique their comedy?
Absolutely. The first one we have here is Bert Kreischer.
Look good. I mean, this is guy who looks like he's like throwing a ball around.
He does?
Yeah, he's does sports. He's been around sports. He's seen. I would hope that Bert Kreischer could do it.
I just look at him and I go, I don't think my first thought is an athlete.
Yeah, but he looks like that guy that like he did it in high school.
Yeah.
And it used to be he could drink anything he wanted, and then later in life he was like, oh, wow.
Oh, it caught up to me.
It caught up.
Yeah.
And he made a career out of it.
He sure did. Next we have Sarah Silverman. This is at a Toronto Blue Jays game.
Can't imagine this will be strong. I say it as a fan. Oh,
Really not bad.
not bad at all. I misspoke.
Spikes the glove, walks off with attitude, and then sort of catches herself and goes like, okay, I'll go back.
She threw that like she played sports.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to do it, but I was invited. She does like a basketball. You know how Gary Shandling did like basketball games? I think like her, Adam Sandler, and there was a thing that I could have potentially been at like one of the comedian basketball games. And
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, and I was kind of relieved.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be that thing of like, oh, it's not fun to play with you. You're so bad.
Right. That's like a celebrity softball game. And I'm like, I played in high school, but I'm like, I think I would suck now and take it too seriously. So it would be a bad combo for fun.
And then there's power dynamics.
Yes.
If Adam Sandler's going for a shot, am I going to fucking boom?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to like, oh, I'd love to be in Uncut Gems too. Like, there's no way that's a fair game.
I like the way you boom.
But that's what I did.
Yes.
When I would boom is what I'd say.
Yeah, that's good. Who's next? We have... Oh, this is Nick Thune. This is Nick Thune a million years ago. Full uniform.
Wow.
Full uniform with the socks, the stirrups, everything. It's fully...
Oh, listen,
A nice pitch.
a nice pitch, but in full uniform, you go, oh, that baseball player is past his prime.
Right.
The uniform is setting too high an expectation for me.
That's a very good point.
When I'm going out there, I'm on my phone while I do it. So you go, well, yeah, it wasn't that good, but he was emailing. He was tweeting
Care.
something.
Right.
So,
This did say, like, I care.
oh,
It
yeah.
screams, I care. And then he throws a great pitch. I'd be a lot more impressed by it. It's a great point by you if he was wearing, like, sweatpants and,
Yeah.
I'd be like, whoa, that regular guy can throw a pitch.
A jumper,
Yeah, a jumper, sure.
overalls, real
Of course.
comedy gear.
Yeah, like dressed like a clown if he rolled out with a. All right, now we have Sam J. This is at Fenway Park, the Red Sox ballpark.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That is
Horrendous.
tough.
That was a really bad one.
They never go, hey, try it again.
No,
It's only just one.
first pitch, one pitch.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I know when politicians do this stuff, and I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
You will lose because of this.
right. Well, it used to be. Now at this point, you can do anything and they'll still.
Sure. You Trump throw it backwards, everyone say, wow, a home run.
Oh my God,
And
wow,
the pitcher got a home
yeah.
run. That's how good he did it.
He threw it all the way into the outfield, just like you're supposed to now. From now on, Tiffany Haddish
Okay.
for the Mets. Okay, let's talk through what happened
Okay,
there. Let's
this
talk
one makes
through what
me
happened
mad.
there. Yeah.
This one makes me mad. For something to be funny, you got to try to do it.
Mm.
You have to sincerely try to do it. To me, I'm going to be a silly goose. I'm going to like a bowling startup.
I mean,
and then
crazy.
I'm not even going to, in a way, it's not like acknowledging that you're bad at it.
Mm.
It's like, oh, look at me. Bad throw. As opposed to being like, no, show them
Yeah.
that you cannot throw a ball.
Yeah.
So that one's the more problematic for me.
Yeah, the wind up was a little like, what are we doing? We don't.
Yeah,
You
if
gotta run
I'm
your
gonna
feet.
do it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna fall, it's gonna be on my face.
Yes. Ronnie Chang. This
Okay.
is for the Mets. This is for the Mets. Ronnie Chang.
Okay, was that a real fall?
So he's hurt himself.
Oh my god. He's hurt himself?
It was announced before he went out there that he's playing with a torn labrum. We don't know if that is a joke or if he's just hurt or if he really is has a torn labrum. But
Wait, they
hurt
made him do the
himself.
first pitch with an injury?
I guess.
Did the doctor like shoot him up with steroids right before
Probably,
like
yeah.
we
One
need
of those.
this pitch?
What are those called? The shots that you get to make your pain go away, but they don't actually help you.
That's so. If that's real, that's so funny.
Yeah. And a decent pitch.
And he did the leg, and
Yeah.
again, it was a sincere leg.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, look at me playing
Wow.
baseball. It was like, and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And that made it so I'm fast. I want to look that up now and go, is that real? When next time I see him, I want to say, was that real?
We just made a baseball fan out of you. Did you see that?
Just the first pitch part. And then I go, all right, we can go home.
And that's it. And that's good game, everybody.
Good game.
Good game. All right. So you don't think you'll ever do a first pitch?
I filled with anxiety watching it because I was like, well, how do I do this? And I think it's more like I'm going to do it sincere. For me, the choice is more like, what am I wearing?
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny. I don't know how.
Kim Mulkey suit, maybe? One of those sequined.
Sure, but I'm thinking short shorts for
Oh,
sure.
yes.
Something short.
Show off the stems. You
Yeah,
got
yeah,
'em.
yeah.
Why not?
And then I'm gonna go for it. And I don't know where that ball's gonna go,
Yeah. Nobody does.
but I'll do it with my heart.
You can
I
do
will
it-
do it with my heart.
Are you going to do it from the mound or are you going to do it right in front? Because they'll allow you to do it from the flat grass. But I think the real ones go to the mound.
I think on the mound, it
Yeah.
looks it from the outside eye, not knowing that rule, I'm like, that's cheating.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it from the mound.
I love that. I love that about you. You don't want to do it, but if you're going to do it, you do it right.
I'd like it to be small scale. I'd like it to be minor league, high school, middle school game.
I did a minor league game. It's still scary. It's still really scary.
Yeah?
You could still fail at it really miserably in front of a lot of people.
Why did that start? There's got to be a history to that. It's like a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But I love it because you get to see people. I mean, there's been some historic, really bad first pitches.
Who has the worst?
Like 50 Cent's was really, really bad. I think Carly Rae Jepsen maybe had a really bad one. These are just off the top of my head. Just something to Google when you get home. Because, our videos will take an hour to pull up and show you. But I think you'd really enjoy the content.
I'll check it out.
Okay, this was something you brought up earlier. Oh, wait, what's this? We got 50 Cent? Oh, show us.
Oh, let me see. Oh, embarrassing.
I mean, almost hit like the camera guy.
Embarrassing.
Really brutal. For like such a tough guy.
Yeah,
Such like
yeah.
a muscular tough guy to throw the ball like that. Kind of
Yeah, but baseball's not like the tough guy.
True.
Oh, a tough guy. You probably play some baseball, I bet. Baseball, in my mind, it's still Babe Ruth. It's
Yeah.
still that look where I'm like, you're an athlete?
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's why steroids got to come back in a big way. Mm-hmm. We got a
I've always
star.
said so.
A star got popped yesterday. Jerks and Profar. We don't have to get. We weeded out the more boring sports news for you.
Sure.
on
I
your
love
benefit.
steroids, though.
You do?
I just love that because in musical theater at college, sometimes if someone would lose their voice during a show, there'd be this thing of like, are they going to do steroids?
Yeah.
Because there'd be steroids
Oh.
for your voice to get through, but you talk like you cannot go down that path. Like I don't know why, but there was always this thing of like, don't ever do steroids. I never would have dreamed of it. And now you get older and sometimes you have requirements and you're like, I would take heroin if it would help me get through this show.
Yeah. That's true.
So steroids affecting every industry.
Really, people didn't let you do them for music. It was like looked
I
down,
don't think it was like
frowned
easy to
upon?
get, but people always talk about like
Interesting.
they say you don't want to do it because then your voice feels fine and you overextend yourself and then you really lose your
It's a
voice
really
the
good
next
point.
day. It's a good point, but life
Screw
sometimes
it. Load me up.
load me up. I don't think they have to inject it in your veins. Like,
No, they do. They do it like this. Right here. They tie off this.
and the doctor goes like
and
this.
he goes, "Man, it's trying to
And
get
you
up
have to do it outside
tricky veins."
behind the hospital.
Yes, yes. And it's so strange and it seems unhygienic, but it is legal. That's legally how you have to do it. This story you brought up a little bit earlier about LeBron
Yeah, tell
and
me about
Stephen
this.
A. Smith. Okay. Do you know who Stephen A. Smith is?
Very much.
Because you're online.
I'm very online, so I've seen him, they show him someone from Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z and goes like, who's winning in a fight? And he kind of analyzes it.
Yes, yeah.
And,
he's a hot take artist, we'd say.
Yeah, he's a hot take artist, and then like get a little too close to politics right now. Where like he'll say something for a moment to be like, everyone should have health care. And everyone goes, Stephen A. Smith for president.
Yeah.
And then the next day he says something not so good. And he's like, I'm hanging with Candace Owens today.
Yeah.
But he's, as an entertainer,
Yes.
I admire and appreciate. Did he used to play sports?
I don't think so.
Really? He was always just a commentator.
Yeah. He's like, he's very skilled and talented at arguing a point in an entertaining, albeit long-winded way.
Are his sports insights ever particularly interesting or unique?
Unique in the sense that, again, he's very good at being entertaining to watch while he gives them. He's very animated. He's got passion behind whatever he's saying. I wouldn't necessarily say when I want like a high-level analysis of something that I would go to Stephen A. Smith.
Sure.
But if I just want to know what's going on vaguely in sports while also being entertained, and I make sure to take most of it at just like face value and not think too much about it, he's, very good at that.
Sure.
And he's been doing so at a high level, one of the like top paid sports TV guys for a long time. But he has this beef currently with LeBron that has bubbled over a little bit. This is going to be our play-by-play. On January 28th, happy birthday to me, Stephen A. Smith on his morning ESPN show pleaded with LeBron James to stop allowing his son, Bronny, to be exposed in the NBA. He said, I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father, stop this. We all know Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. You're exposing your son like this. So Bronny James is LeBron's son.
And he's currently on the Lakers with his father.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Yes. For a number of reasons, right? Because you're like, what? How are you going to be a pro basketball player with your dad on the team?
It's humiliating.
Yeah.
If I was playing a sport and my dad ever got more points than me at that sport, I'd never play that sport again. But is he... Because I thought one of the things that I admire about sports that entertainment lacks is there's a lack of, by my mind, Nepo babies because the meritocracy of the game barrels forward.
Yeah.
But is this true that Bronny is like...
So Bronny was in college. He was pretty decent. He had a medical issue that had him not play, I think, most of his time in college. And then he was he had like a heart problem that was very scary. He came back from. But then he didn't really prove to most people's standards. He should have probably stayed in college and kept like developing as a player. But LeBron is probably leaving the league soon. And so he saw a window of opportunity to get his son into the team while he's still on the team. They were the first father-son to play at the same time on the court together.
And it's 100% like LeBron made this happen.
Pretty much.
I think just knowing these facts, LeBron should be ridiculed mercilessly because you cannot allow this to be a precedent. Of course, he happens to be on his dad's team. That's weird. And if he's not proven it, you are putting him in a bad position. I have to agree with Stephen A. Smith on this.
Okay. So March 6th, LeBron James confronts Stephen A. Smith while he was courtside at Crypto.com Arena. And you can hear LeBron saying, keep my son out of this shit, bro.
Keep your son out of this shit, bro. That's what I would have said if I was Stephen A. Smith. Now, that Stephen A. Smith would say that and then go to the game courtside, that's the one game I'd say, I don't need the good seats for this one. Keep me far away. Keep me on the other side of the court. There's no way I would have shown up.
Yeah.
I mean, those are fighting words. As a father, you say as a father to another man, you're looking for a fight.
It's true. It's fair. On March 7th.
Someone could say it to me, and I don't have a kid. And they said, as a father,
Gianmarco,
I wouldn't have worn that to the first pitch. I'd say, I better not see you at the next baseball game.
So the next day, after that confrontation on First Take, Stephen A. Smith said, that was LeBron James coming up to me, unexpectedly, I might add, to confront me about making sure I mind what I say about his son. I can't repeat the words because they ain't suited for FCC airwaves, but that's what he was doing. Now, I thought long and hard about this over the last few hours because I had no intention of talking about this at all. And the reason why is because it was a one-on-one. I wouldn't say conversation, but it was a one-on-one confrontation. That wasn't a basketball player confronting me. That was a parent. That was a father. He goes on to say that the reason he ends up talking about it is because other people were talking about it. There's video of it. It was circulating. It's now news. He felt like he had to comment on it. March 11th, Stephen A. Smith went on Gilbert Arenas. He's he's not still playing, right? He's too old. Former player. He has a podcast, Gil's Arena podcast, and said LeBron's decision to confront him was, quote, weak and, quote, bullshit.
I disagree with this too. You are coming to his place of work. Mm-hmm. I understand that like this is a public event. That is his place of work. You are talking shit about him. You're obviously looking for a confrontation. You're looking for all this stuff. I don't disagree with the opinion that you're stating about his son, but he has every right in his place of work to get whatever he needs to get off his chest so he can go play his game.
Yeah.
It's just edging a little too close to like you're obviously making the game just about yourself. And I think LeBron is in the right. And if guy's playing, I'm not going to like try to get into, he can say whatever he wants. He shouldn't have been at the game. You can't say that and then go to the game. That's rude. That's like when my mom says like, I don't think you should have gone to College of Musical Theater and then sits in the front row for the show.
How dare
now
she?
I feel like I got to prove it to you. The only reason I'm in the musical because my dad was the lead. He brought me in there, you know.
That's very funny. My mom wanted me to major in dance. And I was like, lady, no. Not happening. Okay.
My sister would have loved to change places with you.
Really?
Yeah.
I just felt like I'm going to graduate and then I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to be a professional dancer. I wasn't good enough for that.
God, I'm already seeing the mom you might be someday and that poor kid who could never get to dance. What are you going to do with this?
What am I going to do with it? Okay, so that was March 11th. He said it was bullshit on that podcast. March 12th, Stephen A. Smith discussed the situation on Fox News with host Sean Hannity, who I'm sure had a neutral opinion.
Yeah.
On the basketball players.
I love how he said, I thought long and hard for the last couple hours. It's the longest I've ever thought long and hard about anything in my entire life. I decided, you know what? I should do the thing that benefits my career. I realized at the end of the day.
Take the show on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let everybody know my opinions on
What did Sean Hannity say
LeBron.
about this?
Probably nothing interesting.
But they want to enjoy. They want to enjoy. Obviously, and this is the problem. And this is where I find it gross. Where it's like LeBron, you know, he's expressed some political views, right? I mean, generally things that a conservative would be excited to take him down.
Famously, Shut Up and Dribble was about LeBron when they told him, I believe that was Laura Ingraham, who was like, you need to just shut up and dribble.
Fuck you. Don't watch the sport. You have to confront the people. It's the same. Honestly, it's the same fucking thing with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where I go like, well, you put him in the movie. You put human beings in the movie to profit off them. This is the risk you take with human beings. You don't want to make a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, that's as you should have. But I mean,
ironically, yeah.
But like the thing with sports, I'm like, fuck. I as an outsider,
yes,
I cannot believe that these players who they need them to play every time, that, you know, if I was these players, unfortunately, I think they're getting so much money. Why would they? I would go, okay, I'm not going to play today. Halfway through, I go, you know what? If you don't want to hear me talk, I don't want to dribble.
Ow, is that my knee hurting?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to hear me talk. I think my knee hurts. That'd be me.
I feel like these athletes, they have so much power that it's hard to figure out how to wield. But it's like, at the end of the day, they have to give it their best.
Yeah.
Or there's no game.
Yeah.
So I love it when athletes get political, because I think that's why people get so mad about it, because they go, well, I'm not going to not watch the game.
Yeah.
No matter what they say.
Right.
I think they need to go further.
Yeah.
I think LeBron should be advocating for anarchy at this point.
Don't wear a jersey, wear a shirt that shares all of your political beliefs on it.
Yeah. Say until you give me universal health care, I'm passing the ball around equally to every single person on this court.
Yeah. So March 26th, LeBron goes on the Pat McAfee show. Have you had to interact at all with...
I definitely have heard the name Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he doesn't often wear sleeves.
Okay.
And he's on ESPN all day.
Great.
Basically. So LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show. It was a big deal. LeBron doesn't usually do interviews. And he said, of Stephen A. Smith, he said, and this is, ESPN is Stephen A. Smith's network. So this is kind of like Stephen A. Smith going to the Lakers game. Now LeBron comes to ESPN, and on ESPN says he's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now. It started off with, I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it. Motherfucker, are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait until the video dropped so you could address it, it's your ass. And he completely, missed the point. The whole point.
I mean, I don't know. It's not that much of a diss to be like, yeah, you clearly did this because you're self-serving. That's obvious.
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Right.
It's tough for LeBron because, again, I agree with the initial point. And so now it's just like you're coming off like you're whining to a degree. It just feels like you just look, you're the loser in this situation. I don't know. I think he should have made his son do the interview instead.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it might not have been very, or maybe it would be good. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard Bronny really talk. I like hearing LeBron say motherfucker. I didn't think I was ever going to get that moment. But yeah, it is tough because the original thing that it was about, I do kind of see the Stephen A. Smith's side.
The dad can't be the son's got to do. The problem is if it's daddy, the accusation is daddy's helping his little boy, and then if he's taking the lead too, it's just no good.
Right. It's like you're bullying my son for being a daddy's boy, and I show up at your house to say that he's not. It's like, well, then why are you here? If he's not a daddy's boy, if he can handle it all himself, why did you show up to my house to fight me?
If he really is,
Send your son.
I think what he should do is he should live televise. I don't know if Stephen A. Smith has a son, but LeBron plays against Stephen's son.
I don't know, but I don't think he does. But I don't actually.
Well, then that's not a fair
he's
fight.
So good at
he said as a
keeping
father
his
though,
personal...
right?
Yeah,
Didn't
he
Stephen A.
said,
Smith say as a father?
He has 2 daughters.
Yeah, 2 daughters.
Okay, LeBron versus both daughters in a 2-on-1 basketball game. That's how you win.
Bronny versus the Suns, right? Or no, the LeBron.
LeBron,
Suns
just because
versus
that's
the
funnier.
yeah,
I want,
okay, it is
or
funny.
the Suns versus the daughters. Sure,
Whatever.
Anything.
Sorry about
and they'd
ruining
be
your
like,
idea.
as a father, I wouldn't have trained my daughters to miss so many goddamn shots, motherfucker.
Damn, motherfucker. So the night that he went on Pat McAfee, Stephen A. Smith then dropped a video on his YouTube channel titled "LeBron: The Lies Keep Coming," in
What?
which
This is not a conspiracy.
he said, "quote If that man put his hands on me, I would have immediately swung on him. Immediately. That I'm not going to tolerate."
Go for it.
Yeah.
You're going to fight
Please.
LeBron James?
I would love if this all turned. Normally, I hate when a drama is made and then it's revealed that this is a work. They're trying to promote a fight. I usually get annoyed if this were revealed that this is setting up a LeBron versus Stephen A. Smith at a boxing match. I'd be like, okay, I'll watch that.
I'll watch that.
I would totally watch that. LeBron responded to that video by posting a video of Stephen A. Smith boxing on IG. This is the video that he posted. Oh boy. Why is that? Where'd he get that footage? That's horrendous. That's really bad.
It's at this point, first of all, LeBron's got a social media team. He's not posting this on his own. I know how this stuff works. He said to his team, hey, can you find a video of him boxing? And they hacked the computers and they paid off everyone they could and they got this one video. So it's fine. At this point, I need to see, I want it to be personal again. I need to see them fight it out.
Yeah. So on March 27th, so this is the next day.
I cannot believe this is how
Still
intense
going.
this is.
Stephen A. Smith goes on his show, First Take, and spends the first 15 to 16 minutes just sort of addressing the previous day, stating that LeBron's only upset because Stephen A. Smith continues to say that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, is better. It's like a common sports thing.
Oh, yeah.
Who's better, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I just don't understand. I mean, they do this with rap. They do this with musical theater. I haven't heard it too often. The GOAT.
Yeah.
I'm going to start bringing it in there.
Go for
with
it.
My jersey,
Ruin
my
musical
jersey
theater
shirt.
with GOAT.
But I really don't understand why the conversation is fun at a certain point, because there's no answer.
Same.
But do you enjoy
No.
it? I like going, it's just this constant thing where I go this is a sign of things being broken, that you're like, but who was number one?
Right.
I need to know that in my brain.
Ignoring all the factors of how different the league is now than it was then.
And who cares? Who cares?
They'll never play against each other.
Yeah.
There's no reason to know which one of them is better.
It's like a way for guys, they're like, I have no one to fight right now.
Yeah.
I know I'll make a claim of something that we can debate, and there's no answer. So we
Right.
can, whenever we need to fight, you know who the GOAT is, you can just bring it up.
Yeah.
That's why.
So that sounds kind of like what's happening here. Stephen A. Smith said the only reason that he's really mad, the root issue, is that Stephen A. Smith thinks Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James. Quote, "That's how petty you've become? When has LeBron ever done something like that? The man is in his feelings. I wonder why. Could it be because I don't believe you're the GOAT?" Smith went on to question why LeBron was absent from Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony, that's a former teammate, and wrongly claimed that LeBron was not present for Kobe Bryant's public memorial, which I guess he was, but he asked not to be photographed. But he basically said, like, you didn't go to Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony and you didn't go to Kobe Bryant's funeral.
Wait, I'm sorry. LeBron was there but asked not to be photographed?
At Kobe Bryant's memorial.
And he's claiming he wasn't there at all?
He said he wasn't there.
What are they playing games at any point? Like, I feel like I had no idea.
There was all this time.
Yeah, they need to focus on their jobs. What is
Fair.
this?
True. Later that night, Stephen A. Smith posted a message on X, or maybe it was later that morning, saying, "My apologies and clarification. I misspoke in hour 1 of First Take today when I intimated that LeBron did not attend Kobe Bryant's memorial. I corrected myself in hour 2, it's a long show, when I acknowledged that he was indeed in attendance. My mistake, should not have broached the subject. It was not my main point. I retract nothing else that I said. Have a nice day."
This made me dislike Stephen A. Smith even more.
Yeah.
This is all horseshit.
Yeah.
This is all well, if you watched me for the full 3 hours, then you would understand that I
know.
added extra context. I
Yeah.
apologize. To bring up Kobe Bryant is classless.
Yes.
To bring up someone's attendance at a funeral is classless. And now he's changed it to it being about something else.
Yeah.
It was very clear why LeBron was mad, because you talked about his son. Yes. It is fair. He decided to put his son in the game, and that's what happens. And that cannot be the precedent for sports.
Yeah.
But it's Stephen A. Smith has done too much at this point. He's tried to milk it for too much.
This is good, clear-headed analysis.
Mm-hmm.
That was very good analysis.
But the fact that anyone said like Stephen A. Smith for president, and I guess that's what you have to do these days. You have to bullshit that much.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't like that.
He speaks well. That's he's an interesting and influential speaker. But like sometimes if you just read what he said, if you just have me read his quotes, they're more plainly stupid sometimes.
I think LeBron, let him fight. Let them fight. Sometimes in society where I look at all this stuff and I go like, I'm not saying violence fully, but like occasional.
Right.
The
Mild
thought that
violence.
you could get punched.
It should always be there.
Should always exist.
The threat of potentially getting punched in your face. I do feel like we've fundamentally changed
if
as
I was
society.
on a jury, if this was like if he punched him and now we're in the court case, and you read me what you just read me, I go, at least he got it. He gets at least one punch.
Right.
For sure.
To the face. Mm-hmm. 2 to the body, 1 to the face.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, that was a clear-headed analysis of a difficult situation. Okay, and then lastly, we have this little segment we do. It's called You Don't See That Every Day. And it is where a bunch of things happened in sports that you don't see every day. And that's really the conceit of the whole segment. So I'm just going to tell you about these things.
Great.
And we'll talk about them. So the Chicago Bulls scored 9 points in 12.6 seconds of a game.
Oh my God.
To beat the Lakers at the very, very end. This clip radicalized. Our producer Isabella is not really a sports fan. We're trying to get her into sports. And she watched this game, I think by accident. It was just on. And she said this made her go like, I want more of that. It was 115 to 110. There were 12.6 seconds left. I mean, this is so basketball-y. But Giddey inbounds the pass. Then the ball's passed to Patrick Williams. He hits a corner 3.
Okay.
So now it's 115 to 113.
Great.
Then Giddey steals LeBron's inbound pass, and he finds Kobe White for a second Bulls 3 in quick succession. So now Chicago's up 116 to 115, and there's 6.1 seconds remaining. Austin Reeves from the Lakers then makes a driving layup to put the Lakers ahead 117-116 with 3.3 seconds left. And then with no timeouts remaining, Giddey inbounds the ball to Williams from the baseline. Then he got the ball back, takes one dribble, and launches a shot from beyond half court. It goes in.
This is a problem. LeBron, he was thinking about, I'm going to go on ESPN. I'm going to say motherfucker. I'm going to say motherfucker on ESPN. And he's not focused. on the game. That's cool. Listen, sports, if I'm watching basketball and it's in that last quarter, I go great. My only complaint about sports is it needs some more editing. You play the game, go in the editing room, cut out the parts that nothing really happens.
Yeah.
I think baseball, if baseball was, every game was 2 minutes, I'm in.
I believe what you're describing is SportsCenter.
Sure.
Highlight package.
Maybe that's what I need to see.
Yeah, you just want to watch that part
I
of
need
the
it
game.
so condensed, I wait for the documentary 20 years later. And I go, oh, wow, the Bulls over 10 episodes. Sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
30
Here's
under
one.
30 was the greatest invention because they said to people like me, listen, we know, can you take 30 minutes?
You know what's really funny is that he just called it 30 under 30, which is clearly the industry, what they give you when you're under 30 years old.
My girlfriend just got 35 under 35 for the Hollywood Reporter.
Since when do they do fives?
Well, thank God, because she qualified for it.
It's funny. Everybody I know that ever wins those things, like wins it at the buzzer. They're like, I am turning 30 and I just got 30 under 30.
Yeah.
But the sports documentary is 34 30.
34,
That's why it's funny when you're like 30 under 30 was the best thing ever. It's like, well, kind of. Okay, you have mentioned before that SNL is sports for you. And
Yes.
so this is sports to say Morgan Wallen walks off stage at the end during the what do they call this? The goodbyes.
The final goodbyes.
Yeah, of SNL.
There's a couple things. There's one part of me that goes like he just didn't know.
Yeah.
He just didn't know. For him, this is like me doing the first pitch at a baseball game.
Okay.
You know, a
That's
sketch
giving
comedy
grace.
show.
That's giving a lot of grace.
It's giving a lot of grace. Otherwise, who knows? It's weird. It's definitely weird. It's not like cool or badass. And so many people were spinning it like, yeah, he told those SNL people. He said yes to the job.
He did SNL.
He said yes to the job. He walked to 30 Rock
Yeah.
and gave them his license and they gave him a pass and he went every day and he made sure the lighting and maybe they didn't get along or anything. He did the show.
Right.
People sometimes do not understand like how the business element works. So they acted like he sure showed them by filling 10 minutes of time for their TV show on a Saturday,
Yeah.
being the biggest name and making sure that his fan base watched SNL. It's so at the end of the day, if it was a rude walk-off thing, it doesn't look cool because you agreed to do it.
Right.
To not go at all.
Right.
If like the song started and he came out and then he said, fuck this and
then
walked off. I go, wow, that's a
Whoa.
rebellion. Oh, you did your job and then at the end you were kind of bitchy.
You left a little early from the
Yeah.
thing that was over.
Yeah.
And then posted a picture of your private jet.
Your private jet going, oh, back to the roots of America
Get me
in
to
my
God's
private
country.
jet.
Yeah. What are we?
What about all the people who worked at SNL? I mean, it's fine if you want to hate all the actors. There's people building the sets.
Yeah.
There's people doing good things.
The like hair and makeup department is crazy.
Yeah. By the way, when he's
costume-
going back to America country, he's got eyeliner on from the makeup person who made him look prettier. And you know what he said? He probably was a dick about it. He said, not enough eyeliner. I need more eyeliner, some more mascara. Fuck off. You're in showbiz. You are part of that legacy.
Yeah.
You're part of that system.
Yeah. The system that lets you be here and thrive despite past transgressions.
Yeah.
Known past transgressions.
He was just mad because he couldn't say the N-word on SNL that whole
Which I guess-
time. And he was like, I got to get back home.
In God's country, God says the N-word all the time. It's a real problem. Been meaning to talk to her about it. This, you don't, okay, so you don't see that every day.
I love it. God is a woman, but
Yeah.
she's racist.
Super racist. That's why we don't mind when people say it's a guy. It's like, well, whatever. This I found really interesting. Other people might not. You don't see this every day. So there is a group of 24 MLB players that are known as the Lost Boys. They are players whose entire careers occurred in 2020 during the COVID season, where there were no fans in any of the stands.
Yes.
So these are 24 players who have only ever played because like they either their careers didn't work out or they went to the minors afterwards. Their only pro career happened in that weird season with no fans. And they call them the Lost Boys. It's like a sad thing. Yesterday, Monday, one of those 24, probably the only one who will ever get a second chance, Kyle Hart, got to play. He started against the Guardians. What happens is after the 2020 season, he bounced around the minor leagues. Then he went over to Korea, Last year, he played for the NC Dinos in the Korean Baseball League.
Mm-hmm.
He had 182 strikeouts, and he won the Korean equivalent of the Cy Young, which is the award we give to the best pitcher in the league. So he basically was the best pitcher in Korea, made such waves over there that they brought him back. He got signed by the Padres. And then last night, he got to play in a stadium in front of a ton of fans. He pitched 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. I thought that was, I like the Lost Boys as a concept. I'm like, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You make it to the show, but no one's there.
I wonder if they look at the stats for those games, like how it was affected by not having like people cheering or booing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's got to be stress. If I started my whole professional stand-up career for no audience,
Right.
and then later 4 people, I'd be
Yeah.
like, what's this laughter?
Like those people who do stand up in their apartments during COVID.
I did it.
But did you make it look like you were live and edit in an audience? I feel like I saw a couple of those.
No, I didn't have the skill. If I could, I would. But you go on Zoom, you take them off mute, and then
Yeah.
someone would take a phone call, and you'd hear a murder, and you'd go, well, that's ruined the joke. You murdered someone during my setup, so it was bad.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he gets overwhelmed. I wonder if he has to look at like whatever empty chairs are in the stadium and
Be like,
bring back.
no one's here. They're all in their underwear.
Yeah.
Type of a situation. I just thought that was cool that he got to do that.
That's really sweet.
Here's another thing you don't see every day. There is a Nashville has a hockey team called the Predators.
No.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. They're the
When did
Nashville
it-
Predators. They're like a newer team too.
They're called the Nashville.
Predators. It's like
That's people walking around with shirts that say Predator.
their logo is, I believe, like a saber tooth something. It's like
I thought it was like a Hollywood
animal.
producer.
It's an animal, and nobody really. I love that that's your first reaction because that's not really. People are usually just like fine with it. So there was this post was made on okay. This was a post from Reddit. It's called "I catfished a predator off Twitter." Somebody wrote, "I saw a random OnlyFans account or something selling nudes, and I clicked to read who was replying to these posts. I found a dude leaving his number." Made a text now, basically led this dude on. I sent a picture of a big, member, and he was just jealous. It kind of goes, I said, screw it, let's continue messing with him. I agreed to meet at a motel, brought up a 16-year-old sister that doesn't exist at first, and he was like, no, I'm not a pedo, but then he brought it up a few texts later. Long story short, he wants to sleep with me and my fake underage sister. I reported him to the authorities. RIP, I catfished a predator. This was posted in r/predators because and somebody responded, LOL, bud, this is the sub for the Nashville Predators hockey team.
We don't got a problem with that behavior here.
I just think it's funny that this guy must have searched like Predator subreddit and then assumed when he got to r/predators that it was, I don't know, a subreddit of predators? I don't know what he would have thought it was.
What sport is this again?
Hockey.
I said at one point the goalie, it's like to catch a predator at some point, and they're like, that's our new name. That's a crazy name to have for a team. That person's whole life is wild. Also, I clicked under the OnlyFans link because I was looking for predators.
Sure. Yeah, I bet you were hunting.
But that's very funny.
Yeah.
And they need to change that name immediately. I think that needs to be the next round of team names that get changed.
An extra layer of funny because he said he catfished a predator. The Predators fans, I don't remember why, but they throw a catfish on the ice. Sometimes you'll sneak a catfish into a game and throw it under.
A real catfish?
Yeah, dead usually, I believe, but they've thrown a catfish.
This whole team
I realized
needs
this
to
was
be
too deep.
wiped off
This
the
was
face
I
of
should
the
have given
earth.
you better lore for them to fully understand what's going on here. Tell our listeners on that note where they can find you.
I'm touring all over. I'm going to Europe. I'm here in America and Canada, Australia next year. Just find me online, Gianmarco Soresi. That is my handle for everything, Gianmarco Soresi. And I have a podcast called The Downside.
It's very funny. It's like supposed to be about sad, but it's funny.
Yes, people coming on and they complain.
Yeah.
So Dan came on and we just go and we step parents. That's all we talked about.
God, he
step
hates
parents and dads.
one of his stepdads real bad.
We all hate one of our stepdads.
He was like a swimmer. He used to make Dan go to his like swim meets. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
My dad let me quit the swim team. So I'm like, I'm jealous. It's always the grass is greener. My dad, I said, the pool's too cold. He said, well, then you don't have to do it, son.
God, I wish.
No.
I wish.
We have flip. You're like, yeah, my mom said follow your dreams and dance. And I was like, Mom, could you be practical, please?
Whatever, I minored. Thank you for being here. This was so
Thank you
much
for
fun.
having me.
Do you like sports now?
Yeah, I'm
Great.
down.
Sold.
I'm down. I love the drama.
Sold.
Yeah.
If you ever see anything in sports you want to talk about, you can come here. We'll always have you. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, we've reached the C block of our lovely podcast, which means it's time for producer Chris to tell us what we can watch this week if we want to watch sports. Chris, what do you got?
Well, we're getting to the pointy end of the NCAA tournament for both the men's and the women's. The men's Final Four will be taking place this Saturday night with the championship game on Monday night. The women's Final Four, both games are on Friday night with the championship game on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. The game out of all of these games that I think everyone should check out, though, is number 2 UConn against number 1 UCLA. That game is on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. You're watching this purely because of Paige Beckers. She has 105 points over her last 3 games. That is insane. That is obviously capped off with the 40-point performance a couple of games ago, but throw in another couple of 30-plus games in there and you've just got someone in one hell of a run. So make sure you check out Paige Beckers and UConn take on UCLA on Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Did you say we were coming to the pointy end of the... Is that what you called it?
Pointy end, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the end.
Yeah, sure. No, yeah, I've just never... What else?
Number 2, the Capitals at the Islanders. This is NHL. We are officially on Ovi watch. He's only 5 goals away from breaking the record. So this is going to be part of what to watch this week until he breaks it, essentially, because it's going to happen any week now. They play the Islanders at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. That game's on Max. They've got 3 games on before this. They play Bruins tonight. They play the Hurricanes and the Blackhawks later this week before facing off against the Islanders on Sunday. Can he get 5 goals within the next 4 games? There's a chance. We'll see. Make sure you check out that game and just keep your eyes on how he's going throughout the week as well, because you do not want to miss Ovi break the record.
That's right. Good tease, Chris. We're long, so I'm just going to say, what's the last thing?
Braves v Dodgers tonight, 10:10 p.m. Eastern. You can watch that on Fubo. It's Chris Sale versus Dustin May. Dustin May is starting his first game since May 2023. We spoke about him a couple of weeks ago. He had that injury eating a salad, tore his esophagus, and so he is playing for the first time since that injury. Dodgers undefeated so far this season. Braves yet to win a game. It's going to be fun.
Sick. The Braves haven't won a game?
Braves are 0-5.
Huh.
Steroids were not working.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's tough. You lose Jerks and Profar, and you haven't won a game yet. Okay, thank you, Chris. Those were all good things. I think we're all going to watch all of those sports this week. That's it for Casuals, you guys. What a fun episode. Big thanks to Gianmarco for being here. Thanks to everybody who listened for listening. As always, if you want to reach us, it's casualswithkatienolan@gmail.com. Our voicemail is 646-801-0043. And on IG and TikTok, we are at Casuals, the podcast. We will see you back here on Thursday for another wild adventure in the world of sports and all that it touches. We love you and we mean it. Bye.